Right, back with another project. So, got these panels. What I'm going to be doing is, I've got about a 4-foot wall, which is out there. I'm not going to go out there, it's torrential rain. And there's the wall, a path just to back gardens, and then someone's back garden, but they've got the hit and miss fencing. So it's just, I'm just trying to make it a bit more private, that's all. Doesn't matter too much how it looks because it's on the side, so you know what I mean. There's not many people go up the path either. It'd be different if it was like on the front of my property, which I would never do. But so the wall's about 4 foot. Now usually you would use a smaller panel because it's more pleasing on the eye, still to be able to see the coping stone. So you'd fix your post to the wall, then the small panel above. Now I did originally order 6x4, but they've blooming delivered 6x5, so I'm not too fussed, but it's another foot to play with. It doesn't matter, I might just bring them down the wall. I'm not too bothered, like. So I've got them. My wall goes downhill slightly as well, so I might have to step it. Well, I will have to step it. I'll have to do something, see how it looks on the eye. But I can do my post first, then I can just put the panels on with a couple of fixings. And you can mess about with them, stand back, see how it looks. I've got them 75 by 75 mil posts, 3x3. I'm going to be using them. I will have to cut a check out. So I'll use this piece as a template. I'll have to cut a check out for the edge of the coping. So then when I offer my posts up, just imagine, actually, we could use that. That looks like a coping, doesn't it? So imagine that's the coping stone on the top of the wall. And obviously your post doesn't come up flush. So I'm going to be having to cut out a gub out of there. And then that'll get my post up flush like that. So I'll use this one as a template and work that out. You can obviously chop that off, the coping off, then it would be flush back, but I don't like doing that just in case you ever need to take the panels down in the future. I don't know, you've just destroyed the wall kinda, haven't you? It just makes more work. So I'd rather cut the timber and start grinding and chipping out coping stones. So that's the panels. They're from Wickes. Quite a good panel. They're not the waney ones, they're the straight. They look alright. I think they were £23 a panel. The tops are a bit rough, like, have a look at that. I mean, what do you expect? These will be mass produced, these will just be guys in a sawmill whacking these up all day. The usual thing, stuff like that, but nothing major. I'll give them a sand up before I paint it. If you didn't sand that down before you painted it, it'll just, you know, the fibres would pull out more. I did have one bit of damage on one of them. I think that's just when they've been throwing them in the back of the lorry or the van. But, I'm not too fussed. I'll just cut that out of there and give it a sand. Be alright. I could fill it. I'm not too bothered. You're never really got to see the top of them anyway. So that's them. They're not a bad panel. So what I'm going to be doing is painting them. So I'm going to use this. This was from last year in the lockdown. I couldn't get any decent paint. Paint was like gold dust in 2020. You couldn't get the blooming stuff. God, they were selling it for all sorts of prices. You'd have probably got 5 litres of cocaine cheaper than 5 litres of Ronseal fence paint. But anyway, not that I condone taking cocaine. Do not take drugs, kids. Don't take drugs. So anyway, I'm going to be using this as an undercoat, and then I'll put the old Ducksback on the top. But it's probably going to take about 3 coats. Absolute murder painting fence panels. I'm not a fan of fence panels. I was going to make a screen with something like this, right, and just do loads of that kind of 2x1. But when I priced it up, God, you're nearly £300 just for the, because I was only got to leave a little gap, and then I'm going like 4 foot up, and then it's like 5 metres at 4 foot. So you were talking 70 pieces of timber or something like that. So I scrapped that idea, so I've just went with the panels. Now, some will say about painting newly treated timber that you should leave it 3 months, a year, 2 years before you put the paint on. They reckon a test is, well, I reckon it would work if you threw a bit of water on. I'm not going to do it like, and if it beads up, then don't paint them because the chemical's still coming out of them, drying out of them. If you put the water on, it soaks in, you're good to go. But you'll know yourself if anyone watches this video. No one might watch the video, but some of you that might watch it, you'll know yourself. You've bound to have painted timber when you've bought it straight away. Everyone's done it. I haven't had many issues at all over the years. I've painted loads of new timber. Not had problems. The paint's stayed on well enough. As long as you're painting your... I like to paint my timber every year, like freshen it up, keeping it sealed. Timber will last decades as long as you keep treating it. Now that's either with paint, or you don't have to paint them. You can let them go their natural colour, and you can just put clear preservative onto them. That would do the job as well. So anyway, yeah, this has got to be the project. So I'll follow it in bits and bobs, see how we get on. I might do a video just after one coat of this One Life fence paint, see what they look like, and then we'll take it from there.
Actually co-wrote this song with James Arthur, teaming up with Tom Grennan, and this is Let's Go Home Together. Never a big thing was second look, but I like the way you don't give a damn. You seem like someone I could pick a fight. You got bad tattoos and smell like you, something to you. Even though you got an attitude, baby, I'm love. I'm scared a little too much, I'm a little bit too. Feels like a nice.
So that's the first coat of that Tudor black oak. It's obviously not black paint. That's went on pretty well. Here's a close-up. I've just caked it on. I don't like using, you know, you get them fence paint brushes. They're quite short. Every time you dip it in the paint, you're blooming covered. I'm just using this Harris 3-inch job. We could check the 3-inch because it's the same as one of these posts. A little bit bigger. That's because it's soaked up with paint in it. So that's how it's looking at the moment. That's one coat of that. One thing I'll say about this is it separates really easy. So see the water, it separates really easy and it kind of congeals in the middle. So I've always got the stick in it and I'm doing one section and then give it a good all mix up, carry on. You could spray them, yeah, if anyone's wondering. I've actually got a sprayer there, there's the nozzle. But well, as I say, it's torrential rain out there today. The only thing with spraying is it does go everywhere. You've got to cover the ground if you're not wanting on, you know, if you've got decorative stones down or block paving, even your grass, wreck your grass, it goes everywhere. So do it the old school way and get it right in. Lovely. So that's what one coat of the Tudor black oak looks like, and then one coat of the black Ducksback That's what it looks like. Quite nice. Quite nice. When they're in the sun, it's more of a kind of silvery black, but quite pleased with that. Absolute hellish to paint, like I've done it with a brush. So I'm just going to fit them like that, and then I might put another coat on sometime, see how it goes. I just went and cut the gub out. Remember I was saying for the, that's it there. So I'm at that, that's the coping stone outside of my wall. So I've just made this template. They're not all going to be exactly this depth, just the way the coping stones have been fitted. But I'll just do them to suit, but that's roughly it. That goes on plumb, that, so. See how we get on. I've got other timber here for another project.
I always wear fur clothes. I quite like it. I feel really smart like I work really hard if you can.
That'll do. So that's the job finished. I used them for the posts. These are unreal, the fixing you get off them. And I used the old coach screws. And that's it there. Finito.